Hi, I'm T.C. Ryan, and this is the companion video for practice 6 of 15 practices for living the life you want. Put safeguards in place. If you're working sequentially through the 15 practices, then you're about a third of the way through this program, so congratulations. And I have good news, some of the hardest work is behind you, so well done. But we want to keep working at it because our recovery takes a lot of tools, a lot of effort, and we got to continually come back to it and keep working at it. One of the tools that we've learned is so helpful and very important when we're either starting a program or restarting is putting safeguards in place. When I was acting out on a regular basis, when I was in the throes of my addiction, there were times when I was aware of how desperate I felt, of how empty things were, or I was afraid of some of the consequences that I was in danger of suffering from. And I would make promises to myself that I would stop. Well, like every addict, I learned that stopping was never the problem. It's staying stopped. How do we stay stopped? Well, I'd make promises to myself. This is it. This is the last time. Or I'd look for meaningful occasions, momentous days, something that had a special meaning, as if it could plant a stake in the ground and I could hang on to it. And that didn't work either. I had a very sincere, robust spirituality, so as a young man, I promised God. And when I made that promise, I was terribly sincere about it. But like the promises I'd made to myself, the promises I made to God, I broke. And if you've got a sincere spirituality, that's a bad place to be. Because when you're making promises to God and then breaking them, it can reinforce all those faulty core beliefs, all those thoughts that we have. Our shame is just increased exponentially. We begin to think, I'm never going to beat this. There's something so wrong with me. We start to feel a little dulled spiritually. We don't feel anything from heaven. And so then we begin to think, God's so disappointed with me. Or worse, God doesn't care about me anymore. He's turned his back on me. That's a very, very difficult place to be. Now, those things are all lies, but they're the lies that are in our heads. And we are poorly equipped to deal with the lies that we are inadvertently reinforcing. The lies that are fueled by the shame that we are inadvertently increasing. So whether it's self-talk that we're dealing with or the behaviors that are befuddling us, we can't go it alone. We need help. We need support. One of the things we learn in recovery is that self-will is not enough. We have to have it. We have to be willing. Self-knowledge isn't enough. It's important to know ourselves, and it's important to know how addiction works. But we need more. We need tools, and one of those tools is safeguards. Handling things on our own is how we got here. We're going to have to use more than just our own best efforts. Well, do the work of putting safeguards in place, practice 6, and I'll see you again in practice 7. My name's T.C. Ryan, and thanks for spending this time with me.